Let's hold off on that Asian house. Well, I'll tell you about Asian House. You can go there, mention my name, get 10% off. That's not a bad deal. They're open right now. They open up at 11. And anyway, of course, every Tuesday it's Asian House Falls Talk with Caleb Calhoun for All for Tennessee. Tennessee released their schedule. They will be having a 0-1 count against them because, the idea this year, you say, if everything goes right for the Vols this year, 8-4. If everything goes wrong, it's 5-7. Well, the first pitch to them of the ball game, that is the 2019 season, was a swing and a miss. Because Emmett Gooden went down. Only defensive lineman with any experience, and that's going to hurt. So, hope is that Aubrey Solomon will be able to get the waiver from Michigan. Still haven't heard yet. Still haven't heard if Missouri is going to be eligible for the division title this year. I mean, right now they're not. That's why they're not in the coaches poll preseason. But still, even speaking of preseason, I should mention the Sports Illustrated came out with their preview here, and it's been the trendy pick to go with Clemson as the number one, to say that Clemson is going to be, behind Trevor Lawrence, the national champion this year. Okay, I mean, that's not, they've done it 2 out of 3 years, why not 3 out of 4? I give you that. But, well, let's talk about this. They got Alabama number one, and then Clemson does Sports Illustrated. We'll see that. Followed by Georgia, same old, same old. Oklahoma, same old, same old. Texas, hey, wait a minute. They're back? Really? Ohio State, same old, same old. Notre Dame, yeah, same old, same old. They were in the playoffs last year. LSU, hey, that SEC West is really tough. Oregon, that Nike money. Florida, they get all the players. They're number 10. And so, you want me to repeat what Sports Illustrated has in this rundown? It's Alabama number 1. That's their preseason. Clemson number 2. As I said, same old, same old. Georgia number 3. Same old, same old. Oklahoma number 4. Texas got all the money, so they might as well be back. They're number 5 preseason SI. Ohio State 6. Notre Dame number 7. LSU number 8. Followed by Oregon and Florida. Florida. Our women are the fairest, our men are the squarest. I know. Michigan, as I do my best fielding, Yost is number 11. Washington, number 12. So Texas A&M behind Jimbo Fisher. They paid him a lot of money, 13. Utah is supposed to be good this year, 14. Central Florida, same old, same old. They're number 15. They'll say they're number 1. Penn State, number 16, maybe they got a lot of losses. Maybe that's a bit much. Auburn, number 17. Hey, Tennessee beat the team that was ranked 17th by SI in the preseason poll this year last year. Well, when you're reaching for that, that's when you reach when Emmett Gooden goes down. Iowa, number 18. Wisconsin, number 19. Bad news for the Vols. Mississippi State, number 20, because they come into Knoxville. Michigan State, 21. Bud Foster in his last year. Virginia Tech, number 22. Hokies defensive coordinator. Iowa State. A lot of people like Iowa State this year, number 23. Adrian Martinez. And Nebraska. Coaches poll has them at 26. Well, Sports Illustrated has them preseason 24. And Stanford, one of the winningest programs in college football this decade. Stanford, proving you can win with books just as much as Braun. They're number 25. So that's the rundown there. No Tennessee. No Northwestern. No Army. Unfortunate there's not Army, considering all the players around the Tri-Cities that have been recruited and going to Army in recent years. I'll write that one down. Army recruiter. Yeah, it's wonderful radio right there, writing down notes. Here, next time we got eggs, milk, cheese, cholesterol city. Oh, okay. I'm Marky Billson, Tri-City Sports Now. Have not, let's see here, another college football thing that's going on in Florida. And this, I guess, is kind of what Tennessee is down to now in the series with Florida. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Look it up if you don't know. Okay. No, I mean, yes, I know. Calvin Griffith? No, it was Clark Griffith once said, "Don't use a $10 word. If a 5-cent one will do, a 5-cent one doesn't do." Schadenfreude. I can actually pronounce it properly. Very intelligent man. And plus, you give me a pronunciation guide or somebody else says it, I'll pick it up. But Dan Mullen is saying, well, there's a defensive back down there at Florida, John Huggins. And Huggins, well, he's not in August practice. He's not in training camp. And Huggins has had some situations, like with tutors. Tutor, according to Huggins last year, took his phones and hoping and ensuring he will stay for the entire season. That's weird. But how about this one? The tutor said it was uncomfortable because Huggins pulled her hair in another session. Now, she didn't pursue a criminal case and no charges were filed from the battery complaint. That's odd. And so Mullen says, well, we're punishing my defensive back. Now, the latest, there's been a lot of, well, shall we just put this out, police reports being written up on Gators players recently. 3 of Mullen's players and 1 of his assistants have been named in incidents involving violence against women in a span of 7 months. In other news, what was it? A.J. Johnson had a good game in a Hall of Fame game against the Falcons. There you go. The former Tennessee product who beat a rape charge last year. Mullen is going and said, well, how many of them are actually charged? Thing is, it does, and I know Vito Stellino came out and he defended, Tyreek Hill yesterday and Ben Roethlisberger and so on and so forth. But when there seems to become a pattern, Now, I know that no charges have been filed. Protect the program! But yeah. Mullen says, obviously I'm a big anti-violence against women person. I'm also a person I really want to have all the information as I make decisions and what happens in different situations, and that's one of the toughest deals. In April, according to police reports, here are the guys that have been in trouble. Quarterback Jalen Jones, now he's not, he's not Felipe Franks, he's a freshman here. But he committed sexual battery against 2 different women on the same evening. Neither woman pursued criminal charges. And Jones, he transferred to Jackson State. Well, at least it wasn't that Dre Bowles transferred to Chattanooga because he actually helped a rape victim. Okay, at least that was, or yes, allegedly. I know that. You really don't think he helped the rape victim? Well, she wasn't necessarily a court of law. You understand the point that I'm making. Blue chip prospect Chris Steele, also a Florida Gator. Jones's roommate, that must have been, he left the program following the reports because he was uncomfortable at Florida. Anyway, others, Brian Edwards, arrested on a complaint. He's a defensive back that he grabbed his girlfriend by the neck during a fight. Wonderful. Walk away, fellas. Just, get straight and say, you know what, you're crazy, I'm gone. Do that. Assistant Director of Player Personnel Otis Yelverton was arrested on a complaint of cyber-stalking his girlfriend and threatening to blow up her car. There was another recruit down there at Florida. Are you ready for this? Justin Watkins. He left the team last summer following his second arrest in 10 weeks. Watkins' girlfriend said he punched, slapped, and choked her in an on-campus dormitory, according to a police report. And Mullen says, my job as head coach is not to go and invest about all of that. He here's one report, here's the other report, they don't match up, and it's not my job to really make a decision on campus how that works. So what we know is that John Huggins, defensive back for the Florida Gators, he's been in trouble before. He's not in training camp, but Dan Mullen doesn't want to tell you where he is. Protect the program! Protect the program! Protect the program! Sometimes it just gets a little bit... Maybe we'd like to protect justice every now and then, you know? Now, maybe it's all a mistake. It's a possibility. But it does seem a little bit more that, you know... All right. So I've been holding this off. The Washington Redskins. Trent Williams, 7-time Pro Bowler, left tackle. He has not been in Redskins camp since last season. Didn't go to minicamp, no OTAs, and now he's not in training camp. And according to multiple sources, according to J.P. Finley of NBC Sports Washington, multiple sources, but he's kind of thought to be the guy with the scoop, Finley writes that Williams has no intention of responding to Washington anytime soon, including when the preseason starts. Maybe this proves how ridiculous the preseason really is. Now, he's on the fourth year of a 5-year, $66 million contract, but there is some reaction that, no, this isn't all about money. There's some belief of that. D'Angelo Hall, who's now a NFL Network commentator, said he's spoken to Williams. His holdout isn't about money. He says that he doesn't like the training staff there in Washington, does Trent Williams. Now remember, there have been a lot of injuries. Remember what happened to Alex Smith. Of course, you know, look, did the training staff injure Joe Theismann, or was it Lawrence Taylor? I mean, think about this. But you see, there was a growth on Trent Williams' head that scared him. He says Ince had it removed, found to be benign, but he thinks that the medical staff of the Redskins, Trent Williams, mishandled the situation. Boy, it seems like the Redskins haven't done anything in about 30 years, huh?